Guys, big breaking news coming out. World War III update. US Vice President Vance says US considering Tomahawk missiles for Ukraine. Tomahawk missiles. Something that Joe, the former leader of this country, Joe, refused to give to Zelensky. It seems like Donald is going to give that Tomahawk to Ukraine. Something that Joe refused. Why? Because Joe knew that, it could spark WW3. Tomahawk to Ukraine is a whole different ball game. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Once again, thank you so much for your support. Your support what keeps us on air. Also, another way to support the channel is by giving a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, guys. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance confirmed on September 28 that the U.S. is looking at providing Kiev with Tomahawk. As Moscow continues to refuse bilateral and trilateral peace talks brokered by U.S. commander. You asked this question about Tomahawk. It's something the U.S. commander is going to make the final determination on. What the commander is going to do is what's in the best interest for the U.S., the vice president told Fox News in an interview. So Fox News is the one that's putting out this information here. I know we are having conversations this very minute about the issue, J.D. Vance continued. President Zelensky asked the U.S. commander to supply Kiev with Tomahawk long-range cruise missile during a meeting with the U.S. commander on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly, the Telegraph reported on September 26. Tomahawk. Guys, Tomahawk does a lot of damage. Imagine firing a Tomahawk for the first time into Moscow. It's like firing a hypersonic to Times Square. Man. Imagine that. Firing a hypersonic to Tampa, Miami, Los Angeles, firing hypersonic to Illinois or Washington. That's crazy, right? Well, again, that's what Donald is planning, giving the Tomahawk to Zelensky. But the way they doing it, they being really slick. Donald is like, I'm selling equipment to NATO. NATO pays me, we make money. Then from there, I have no idea what they do with the equipment. So, Crane, NATO is going to give it to Crane. Crane has repeatedly appealed to Washington for long-range strike capability throughout the war, but the U.S. has so far declined to provide such equipment. Now, Zelensky told the U.S. commander that the advanced equipment system could help pressure Vladimir into negotiation for a peace deal. That's not going to happen, dude. That's not going to happen. Vlad is not going to just bow down and say, you know what? I bow down. That's it. I wave the white flag. I give all the territory back. Please don't hit me with no more Tomahawk, please. Take Crimea. Take Zaporizhia. Take Luhansk. Take Donetsk. Please. Nah, it ain't going to happen. Once you fire Tomahawk, they're going to respond. The Bears going to respond, and they're going to strike harder. And I do believe they're going to use Orishnik. Now, Zelensky told the U.S. commander that the advanced equipment system could help pressure Vladimir into negotiations for a peace deal. according to multiple sources cited by Telegraph. Now, Ukrainian leader later said the U.S. commander was open to the request, which, if granted, would give Ukraine the ability to strike target deep inside the bear, including Moscow. Buckle up. It's going to be a really hot few months. This closing 2025 is going to be a whole different ball game. Vance on September 28 acknowledged frustration within the White House amid Moscow reluctance to attend leader-level peace talks. What we've seen over the last couple of weeks, the bear have refused to sit down with any bilateral meetings with Ukrainians. They've refused to sit down with any trilateral meetings where the president or some other member of the administration could sit down with the bear and Ukrainians. Comments come amid signs of a change of heart in the U.S. commander, Donald, approach to the war. Now, Donald said, I figured it out. I see now. I'm no longer blind. It's time to help Ukraine. So it just, he fell into this. Whoever he surrounded himself with, they got into him. All right, so following his meeting with Zelensky on September 23rd in New York, the U.S. commander wrote on Truth Social that Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. I don't see that happening, guys. I don't know why Donald says something like that. Donald said, I have faith. I know Ukraine could take back all their territories. How? Because a few months ago, Donald, you told Zelensky, you can't choose to fight someone who's bigger than you. You're not going to win. And now all of a sudden, Donald's saying you could win. You could take all this territory back. Donald, again, a few months ago, you said he can't win. Now you're saying he could win. The reason why he's saying you could win now is because Donald is going to get involved. That's why. And even though Donald would get involved, he's not going to win. I'm sorry to say this. I know a lot of people love the Donald. He's not going to win. He's not going to win this biblical war. Remember, when it comes to the mystery of Babylon and all that, again, great battle of the Holy Land, no one's going to defend her. That means the sleeping giant is going to be wiped out. The sleeping giant is going to be no more in those last days. Everything will focus back to the way it was, just like in the Old Testament, the Middle East, and Gog and Magog and all them other countries out there. This side here that is surrounded by waters, all this will go back to the way it was. Silence in the other side of the world, missing all the action. The comments come amid signs of a shift in the U.S. commander approach to the war following his meeting with Zelensky on September 23rd in New York. The U.S. commander wrote on Truth Social that Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. The bear are not gaining a lot. This biblical war is terrible for their economy, and they have to ask themselves, how many more are they going to have to lose, and how many more people are they going to have to take out for very little military advantage? The U.S. VP added in his interview, stop in the name of love before you break my heart. I'm kidding, guys. To the U.S. VP and the commander, you guys talk about how the bear is losing many and innocents are being taken out. This needs to stop. It's out of control. This is no good. But you won't dare to call out Ben from the Holy Land when he's causing massive famine in Gaza. Famine going on there that is a lot worse than what's going on in Ukraine. How many young ones are dealing with famine out there? And you guys are not saying not one word to Ben. Not one word. We hope that the bear actually wake up to reality on the ground. Vance concluded, no. Guys, y'all need to wake up. You're too focused on the bear. Ben got you guys all blindfolded. In recent weeks, the U.S. commander has overseen a new NATO finance program to supply the sleeping giant equipment to Ukraine. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We were told that the war was going to end in 24 hours. Nope. And again, we did mention that back in 2024 that this war was not going to end. And now all of a sudden, we are walking the same footstep as Joe. Ain't no difference. The only different thing is we getting money from these equipments. That's it. In recent weeks, the U.S. commander has overseen a new NATO finance program to supply the sleeping giant equipment to Ukraine under the prioritized Ukraine requirement list program, with initial aid packages including Patriot air defenses and Himars rocket systems. And that's where we at right now, guys. That is where we at. Van says, U.S. considering Tomahawk. This will bring the bear to the round table, and they will end the war. This will provoke the bear, and this will spark WWE. And I hope you guys know what you're doing here. Breaking news. Internet outages are being reported now in Belgorod. I just posted a video about Belgorod. They got hit really hard, guys. Internet outages are being reported now in Belgorod, Western Russia, following tonight's strike by Ukraine against power infrastructure, including the apparent destruction of the launched thermal power station using U.S.-provided M142 high mobility artillery rocket system, Himars. Give me a second here, guys. Trying to see if there's any more information here. Once again, I want to bring this one up too really quick. The bear unleashes 643 drones and missiles. Kiev burns. Poland scrambled jets. Now I'm just gonna skip this part here, but you guys get the picture here. Things went down the last 16 hours. 3 years in, this war is grinding into something darker. The bear testing NATO patience, Ukraine buying $90 billion worth of U.S. arms, and a nuclear power plant offline in Zaporizhia. And now we must add Tomahawk missiles also is being discussed. WWE update. We are seeing it. We are living it. We are witnessing Bible prophecy happening right in front of our faces. Boy, oh boy. Give me 1 second here, guys. Let me just refresh the page and see if there's any more information here. Alright, guys. It seems like... Oh, give me a second here. Hold on. What is this? This is coming out right now. Lockheed Martin lands $11 billion helicopter deal. The Navy's... Okay, so we're just going to skip this one here. I'm just going to skip this one here. Okay, so once again, guys, this is all the information. The vice president has put out a very important message that the U.S. is considering giving Tomahawk to Ukraine. That's a very important, urgent news, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to end it here. It seems like this is all the information. Check out the videos I posted today. The links will be in the comments box. And once again, I want to thank every single one of you for your support, either through Patreon, PayPal, or the Cash App. Your support truly helps out. Patreon, $5 a month will get you access to our live stream. We go live once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on YouTube. Also, if you guys want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.